TV reboots are a tricky business. Some are successful. The greatest success, of course, is the Star Trek franchise, which has multiple TV series, and at the movies The Next Generation spawned 4 movies and the Kelvin timeline 3 movies with a 4th in discussion. Battlestar Galactica spawned 2 spin-offs. Though Galactica 1980 didn't fare so well, the second reboot lasted 7 seasons, not bad considering that the original only lasted 1 season. Then there's Fuller House, Hawaii Five-0, and the list goes on, but the majority of reboots ultimately fail. Let's take a look at the ones that didn't make it. That '70s show was a runaway hit over the course of its run. The series was a consistent performer for Fox, becoming one of their flagship shows. Its 8 seasons, consisting of 200 episodes, made it Fox's second longest-running live-action sitcom ever behind Married with Children. Recently, the show has been rebooted on Netflix as That '90s Show. But did you know there was a That '80s Show?
How you doing, son?
I got nothing!
By August 2001, using the same creative team from That '70s Show. Fox wanted to do a spin-off of That '70s Show, but moved ahead with a show about a different decade. The show is set in 1984 and revolves around the lives of a group of friends in their 20s living in San Diego, California. The show follows the lives of struggling musician Corey Howard and his associates, friends, and family. His working relationship with June Tuesday is also a focal point, and becomes the main anchor of the show after a few episodes. The first episode of That '80s Show received generally negative reviews from television critics. That '80s Show failed to gain a wide audience during its original run, and low ratings eventually caused Fox to cancel it after 13 episodes. Those Good Old Boys of Hazard County came roaring onto our TV screens in 1979 and was an immediate hit.
Just a good old boy.
Inspired by the 1975 film Moonrunners.
With friendly women?
I never sleep alone. I always sleep with a .45 automatic.
It originally featured Bo and Luke Duke, played by Tom Wopat and John Schneider. The show was so successful that it was number 2, only behind that ratings juggernaut Dallas. Schneider and Wopat felt they deserved a chunk of the merchandising that was being made off of their images and abruptly left the show. Since the network refused to negotiate with them, they had to scramble to find replacements, creating a soft reboot of the show. They figured the real star of the show was the general lead, so the 2 leads didn't matter. They quickly hired Byron Cherry and Christopher Mayer as Coy and Vance, cousins to Bo and Luke, who, it was explained, were off on the racing circuit. The show quickly dropped in the ratings. It had been a top 5 staple but was now at number 34. The network finally agreed to negotiate with Wopat and Schneider, so Bo and Luke were reinstated the following season. The ratings never recovered to their original glory and the show limped along for another 2 seasons before being cancelled.
Here we come, walk down the street, we get funniest looks from...
The Monkees were an immediate hit. Their first song went to number 1 before the show came on the air. These 4 lads went from obscurity to overnight success, and that success would take its toll on these 4 lads, only one from Liverpool. Strife would drive the bandmates apart, and arguments over music production with Don Kirshner, who had been producing the recordings with session musicians, tore them further apart. NBC canceled the show in 1968. The band would film a movie called Head, but it was unsuccessful. Peter Tork quit the band and the rest toiled on as a trio. Mike Nesmith was the next to go and the band was down to just Mickey Dolenz and Davy Jones. They would finally disband in 1971. There were several attempts at a reunion, but none of them caught on, until 1986 when MTV played a Monkees marathon. Dolenz, Jones and Tork would tour together and released a hit single. That was then, This Is Now.
That was then, that was then, this is now. I'm just one of the boys.
No, I'd rather not talk about the other guys.
Well, what we're doing is we're looking at people, meeting them, saying hello, and trying to see if they fit our image of what we'd like as a rock band.
Which is?
I don't know yet.
All of this generated an interest for a new TV series in 1986, A New Monkeys, a full reboot of the earlier series with none of the original members of the Monkees involved, was conceived later that year. The group's members were Jared Chandler, guitar and vocals, Dino Kovas, drums and vocals, Marty Ross, bass and vocals, and Larry Saltis, lead guitar and vocals. As it had been with the original Monkees, each had to pass a grueling set of auditions. Unlike the previous series, however, musical ability was a key factor in the selection process. Ross, a multi-instrumentalist, had earlier been signed to CBS Records with his former band, The Wigs. Interest in this group waned, and the show was cancelled after 13 episodes. Believe it or not, this band would experience a revival. On November 11, 2017, all four New Monkeys attended a 30-year reunion organized by Amy Collin. They were interviewed for the podcast Deep Dish Radio with Tim Powers, too, and performed a few songs. On February 16, 2019, the New Monkeys performed a sold-out concert at the Pig and Whistle Restaurant and Bar in Los Angeles, organized by Jody Ritson. The concert featured an appearance by the original Monkees' Mickey Dolenz. Finally, here's a brief look at Love Boat: The Next Wave. The original Love Boat aired from 1977 to 1986. In addition, 4 3-hour specials aired in 1986, 1987, and 1990. The series was set on the luxury passenger cruise ship MS Pacific Princess. Love Boat: The Next Wave is an American comedy television series which aired on UPN from April 13, 1998 to May 21, 1999. It was a revival of the original. Set aboard the cruise ship Sun Princess, the series starred Robert Urich as Captain Jim Kennedy, a retired and divorced U.S. Navy officer with a teenaged son, Danny. Kyle Howard. Phil Morris played Chief Purser Will Sanders, and Joan Severance played Security Chief Camille Hunter. This revival lasted 25 episodes and proved to be a disappointment in the ratings and was cancelled. What about you? Have you seen any of the reboots we talked about today? Did you like them? How did they compare to the originals? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. While you're at it, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so if you like content like this. Also check out my Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter franchise in the comments section. Until next time, this is Kevin Gibbon saying live long and prosper, may the force be with you, and keep reaching for the stars.